Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with the Babyface and his fellow funny friend. Now hold on to your butts. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. Prepare to have an autographical orgasm in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's no longer May, but my guest today is comedian Say.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can close that.
Oh,
How are you?
I am very well, thank you. That was pretty much the most amazing introduction, jingle, improv. Wow.
It took me a whole 5 minutes to come up with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
not
I was working
improv.
it. Not improv at all. I should have said it was, but it's not.
It's okay. It was very good. I like.
So, as we were saying a second ago, first thing we're going to need to ask in that case is the differences between being a guy comedian and a girl comedian. Shoot. Go off.
A bit of a cunt, to be honest. I'm
That
sorry.
is the difference, yeah.
It's really hard. So there's a lot of things that happen when you're a woman in general, day-to-day life. I'm speaking directly from my vagina right now.
Hello, I can hear me.
I don't like talking about lady stuff much because I feel like it's too easy
You
of a
don't-
target.
You don't need to go into like anatomy. You don't need to go into the anatomy.
Is it too much?
No, go ahead. You do as much as you want.
I know a lot of men can't handle it properly.
I've had 2 children. Believe me, the things I've seen. And
So you don't have to necessarily know how to handle to reproduce. There's a difference. I mean,
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, the females that might listen will understand that one maybe. I'm not
I-
going to gush on about it.
no, I just feel like
I said I'm not going to gush on about it.
God, there's going to be a lot of them.
So this is funny. It's too easy for female jokes. Like, I work in TV, so I get a lot of misogyny when I'm at work. So
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, actually. Go on, give me some examples.
man come in the other day and he said, "Oh, hello, I'd like to talk to someone about a TV." I'm like, "Yeah, what would you like to know, sir?" And he's just like, looking around, trying to see if there's any probable men that he could talk to about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so we just started going into it and I tried to just talk it out and we got there in the end, but it's just, I have to deal with it so often. And I baffled him in the end with too much.
Yeah, you made him feel like an idiot. It's probably quite easy judging by the kind of guy you mentioned. Yeah.
I think it comes down to ignorance. Like I can lift
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than
Like most things.
the regular woman.
You come on.
I can lift more. I've got like guns.
I lift.
I lift. I only lift TVs. I can take up to 55, 60 inches, maybe 65, depending on the TV. In TVs, yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that joke. It's very good. I've used it before. I recycle my jokes because I'm very eco-friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You know, the one thing I always feel like when you hear like girls on stage and that is like, you know, guys are fucking just terrible. Like as soon as you make a point on stage or something that you're single, I can just imagine every guy trying to talk to you at the bar then afterwards, you know.
eh.
Yeah.
It kind of just happens regardless as to whether you're on or off stage. It's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's like before I was skinnier as well. Like I'm now healthier, being recently vegan. I feel like I should get that out there early. Yeah, come at
God.
me, bro. It's just for health reasons. Like you can kill a duck or whatever in front of me. I'll be cool with it, but I'm not going to eat it.
Wait.
I'm totally joking. I'm not cool with killing ducks.
I was going to say, I'm in no way a vegan, but I don't want to see a duck killed in front of me.
That would be quackers.
Yeah. Why are you a vegan, if you don't mind me asking?
I watch What the Health on Netflix and then I'm done. Like I've worked with 2 vegans in a hi-fi shop for 2-3 years now, and I'd say it's like a carnivore to vegan conversion. It's like a DAC pun, but not many people know what DACs are. It's a digital analog converter. But yeah, so
What?
it's hi-fi shit, you know.
So that's what made you go vegan?
Well, just for the health. I'm trying to get my six-pack. I'm trying to just, yeah.
I imagine though there's not that much health benefit because the stuff you get from vegan is just, you know, like vegan food is very much just kind of like normal food that's just kind of been synthesized, isn't it?
I'm not going to preach about it. Watch What the Health on
no,
Netflix. I'm not paid to advertise.
I just generally
with
find it
this stuff.
interesting because I've never known anyone that actually is a vegan in all honesty. The first person I've met that's openly said they're a vegan, so I'm quite interested.
It's only since April and I've only broken once.
Oh, okay. What do you have?
So my friend was like, "Oh, we're going to see a movie." I wasn't working, and we were going to see the new Spider-Man movie. And he's like, "Oh, I've got."
Fucking good film, ain't it?
I've got some edibles. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never tried that before. And it's nothing hard, it's just a green stuff because it's good for the environment. It creates oxygen as it grows. I think that's kind of, you can use it as materials. Many uses. I'm not going to go into like 420,000 reasons for why. But anyway.
But we could.
So I was like, it only happened on the day that we were going to the cinema. It kind of dawned on me, shit, I'm fucking vegan. Is this going to be a brownie or a fucking...
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that.
I know.
Yeah.
So I was like, no.
Oh.
So if it was going to be a brownie or a cookie or something, I was going to be like, no, I can't. No,
Can you not have that then? Is that...
Well, it's just the chocolate and the milk.
Oh, the milk, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Before I was vegan anyway, because I'm turning into one of the... People thought I was a vegan before I was vegan. They're like...
So I might as well go full hog.
Yeah, people bullied me into veganism. I'm joking. But,
bullied into veganism. I mean, like the weakest bullying ever. Protein deflated.
Talking to a very nice vegan man friend, and he is vegan, so technically we had a question as to whether it would be acceptable to eat a vegan, maybe.
Eat a vegan?
Well, if you ate a vegan, it's like, I don't know. It's a question for philosophy. It's not for me. I do have a doctorate in philosophy.
Do you?
Because I made it myself. That's what doctoring is. And I thought about it for a very long time. Started studying.
Wouldn't doctoring be having to edit one that already exists?
Well, yeah, that's what I did. I got one off the internet.
Oh, okay.
I doctored my certificate in a doctorate of philosophy.
So now you have a doctorate?
Yes, I'm Dr. Say.
Dr. Say.
And in Deutsch, because I'm quarter Deutsch.
Yeah, so it's Flohr, isn't it, your last name?
Floor.
Floor.
Like the thing you walk on.
Oh, I like the thing you walk on, yeah. I don't walk on the floor, I walk on air.
Oh, bless.
Oh, fucking, I don't know how we got from that to that, but...
Different levels, you know.
One thing I was going to say, I don't mind vegans as much as I dislike, vegetarians that eat chicken or vegetarians that eat fish.
Yeah, vegetarians that eat chicken aren't vegetarians.
Pescatarian.
The fish ones are okay. People that just eat fish are pescatarians. I'm well versed in all of the diet shit. My sister's like actually allergic to quite a lot of shit, and I'm just vegan, pro-choice. Like, I feel so bad.
I can eat it all, but I choose not to.
Exactly. She's got so many allergies. She's allergic to eel. We were so gutted. We're like, oh,
eel?
Dude, you can't have eel anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's going to cause so many problems.
Oh, no.
It's eely bad.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, it's sad times.
So, comedy-wise, then, anyway, what made you want to do comedy?
So I've only just recently found this out because I'm the type of person that watches things like Shopping with Keith Lemon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Keith Lemon, but I don't like that programme.
I like it. I like everything. I watch Love Island. Don't talk about it. I know, it's okay. It's people. I like people. It's all stuff. So yeah, anyway, Jimmy Carr was on the show and he basically said that he feels his philosophy on people that do comedy is because they've had like a really depressed family member that they've always had to try and like cheer up and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. My mum has been heavily fucking depressed since ever.
Yeah.
But that's just life. Life comes with its...
Oh, of course, yeah, I hear what you're saying, yeah.
You just got to try and not let shit get to you. It's hard, but then...
That's what they say, isn't it? All comedians, everyone expects the comedians to be the funny, happy people all the time, but they're generally the people that are kind of weird.
Well, that's me. I can lick my elbow. I'm physically weird and also very weird.
I don't think that constitutes what you need to do to get into comedy, but I hear you.
It helps. If I don't have anything, I lick my elbow, I'm done. Yeah, babe.
I have a tiny tongue, so I can't lick a damn thing.
I don't think it's about tongue length. I think it's about weird arms. Double jointed.
Wenis. It's all about your wenis.
Double jointed stoner. And Wenis, yeah. Also an olecranon, which my sister taught me because she's a sports therapist.
What's an olecranon?
Olecranon, I think it's with a U. It's quite cool.
What
I
is
don't
it?
know. It's the elbow.
Oh, I thought that was the wenis.
The wenis is the skin of the elbow.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yes.
I think I'm learning shit.
Humorous.
Yeah. That one I liked. No, I agree with that though. Like, I don't know why I got into comedy myself. I think it's just kind of natural. Yeah, I think there's just weird people that like to be weird. I know it's a really strange explanation, but I think it is. Yeah.
I was thinking about it recently. Like, I genuinely just enjoy having smiles and laughs with people. Like, I think that's the most important thing for me at the end of the day. But the massive political and economical change on a massive level, which is going to take 50 to 100 years. I've got a major plan. It's fine.
What? Go back a bit. What?
Okay, so I'm using comedy to talk shit about politics because I feel like everything is very much wrong at the moment, and there's a lot that needs to change. And we're in a democracy, so it's kind of like an experiment with democracy. I've recently watched Warriors, which you won't get because you haven't seen it. I'm sorry,
no, go. Please explain. Yeah.
That have seen Warriors, they basically get all of the street gangs of like the New York and surrounding areas together to sort of rise against, but then shit goes down and it all gets fucked up. It's a really good movie. You should watch it, but it's very old, so I can't really be blamed for spoilers at this time.
No, I think we're good. Yeah.
Maybe that's on you guys. Like people have spoiled many old movies, and also recently Game of Thrones for me. Shout out to my drinking boys, bastards.
Well, you had Game of Thrones ruined for you.
Well, it was an accident. I thought I'd watch the episode. I forgot that I didn't watch the most recent episode. Went to talk to it about my.
Was that the last series or something you talked about? Oh,
just an integral plot point as well. My friend just was like, "Oh, so you've seen it?" So then started talking about it, and I was like.
You can say it. If anyone hasn't got spoilers, fuck them.
Too soon.
It's not too soon. It's way. You could talk about Endgame, so you can talk about Game of Thrones. Yeah.
So my friend basically said, "Oh, when John killed."
You feel really bad about saying this, don't you?
No, yeah. But also that was really fucking. Jesus.
It was a bit poop anyway. The whole last season was. I tried to defend it for ages, and then it was like, okay, this is just not the same program anymore.
I feel it got better with the character development over time.
It got better.
Yeah, I apologise for that sneaky one. But
more like it didn't get better.
I'm hard with dramas generally. I only really started heating up with the banter and shit from maybe the 4th or something season. But it's alright.
Yeah.
When I have an OLED, I'm going to watch it from start to finish with the proper black levels I deserve.
OLED is in a big ass OLED TVs.
Yeah.
I actually genuinely never knew it was pronounced OLED.
It stands for organic. It's an organic compound.
Liquid. No, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, organic liquid.
Light emitted diode.
I'm thinking of LCD on it. Liquid crystal display is what I'm thinking of.
It's not. Yeah. TVs. No. I like the Dire Straits song because they're moving microwave ovens, which I do when I'm cleaning them, and TVs, and that's my life. My life is Dire Straits, but thankfully I love my job, so that helps me keep going.
You're one of the only people I know that loves their job.
Oh no, there's like quite a few people within our company that are all very happy as well. Like, well, I'd say pretty much generally everybody, but then everybody's got their own problems. And
I do think nowadays, though, there is too much of a thing where it's like everyone seems to feel like they have to have a 9 to 5 or just a general job, you know. It's like, I don't know.
I think this is a political thing. I think there needs to be a way for the government to make it easier for people to do jobs that better suit the person, because people work in different ways and have different strengths and weaknesses. So we need to really utilise all of the people power that we have on a national and global level.
No, you're right. I mean, you can kind of argue that is already in place, though, because you have like, I know it's not, but you could argue the job centre and the work advisors are the ones that are supposed to do that.
Yeah, there's also
doesn't mean
a
they
lot
do.
of stuff that happens without the job centres. Like, I don't know. It's some people that don't need benefits don't work because they find it hard to work in that environment. Like my mum, for example, she doesn't like working in retail. She can't really find a job to really suit what she wants.
Yeah.
And like she doesn't really need to work, but she does at the same time. Like for me, I'm a worker. I've worked since I was 13 years old. I'm not gonna stop working, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's what does that mean though? Because see, like me, for example, the job that I'd been doing for like freaking years and years and years, like it got to me, and it was just doing my head in, like in a depressive kind of way, you know. So I got out of it completely, and I started up all this stuff, and I'm doing it constantly. I'm not getting paid for it though. People say that it's not a job, where it's like I'm doing it all the time. I'm spending putting a lot more effort into this than I would ever do in a job, you know. But it's not the same thing apparently, because nowadays it's not a job unless you get paid regularly and all that. Bothers me a bit.
Because you've got to choose like passion over.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's basically modern day slavery working in a way. But the only advice I could say in working is just look for employers that are good, because there are some really, really good employers out there.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a better shift with the corporate world. Hopefully helping the greater good. Like it sounds a bit culty, but I just feel like there's time for change. And
in what way?
I don't know, the whole how we think on everything.
Yeah.
We need to look at everything that we're doing and find a better way for it. There's a lot of waste in every single everything. Everything. It's awful. Like the recycling system that we have now doesn't work. There needs to be more separation with recycling.
Actual recycling.
Yeah,
Like
you
just
see the
general.
bins on the street.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not, it's just more work just to bag it all up and fuck it off to landfill.
And they generally throw it all together.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
I used to work in the bin man for like a very small period.
I didn't know you had periods.
Oh, I do. I do.
apologise.
Male periods. Yeah. Fluids and everything.
Oh, vicious.
I actually had a joke about that. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
I'm sure you had to be in the womb to enjoy it.
Jesus.
Don't
apologise. Don't apologise. They're great, really. I love it.
Oh, I have to apologise. It's the most English part of me.
That is true. That and lining up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good cue.
Yeah, you can't help a good cue.
That's nice.
Cup of tea, a cue, complain about something, and then carry on. British.
I'm not about complaining. I'm about positivity. My nan, who recently passed away, I'm not going to cry. She always told me about a positive mental attitude, and I've always emphasised on the mental.
It is true. It's.
No, I'm joking.
Wait, what?
It's a silly joke. But yeah.
No, I always think it's very easy to have a negative attitude, but it's harder to have a positive one. But it makes a big difference if you actually can do it.
I think if you fake it, there's half the battle. Like I've
It is
done
true.
acting and
It's
shit,
true.
Just fucking like facade shit.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury's my biggest idol, and
But
he preaches that.
he had
all
like
the
2
time.
extra teeth, didn't he, at the front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one missing canine. I don't feel like I've got any resemblance to it. I'm quite similar in a way. We're both Virgos, cat people.
Oh God, you're not an astrology person as well, are
I
you?
love astrology. I don't believe it, but I
Oh,
like
okay.
to observe it. Like
Okay.
my philosophy on astrology is that all of the most intelligent people and religions and stuff have always used, not everything, but cultures and people have always looked to the stars, and I feel like
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
nice
yeah.
to read into it a little bit, but not like let it rule me.
Yeah.
I'm a Mercury. I'm independent. You know. No, I'm joking.
You're Mercury.
It's my ruling planet.
Is that one as
darling.
well?
No, we're Virgos, and Mercury is Virgo's ruling planet.
Oh, I see. Got
Kind
you.
of what he
Okay.
based his name on. I feel like it's their fault that I like astrology because I got major sucked into Queen when I was very, very young.
Do you know what an Aries is?
Yes, annoying.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that's my sister too. They're good people. No, I'm joking.
And this is the end of the podcast.
Hey! Nah.
No, I mean, what the planet thing you said was. Do you know what that is?
Oh God.
I don't know. I'm just,
I don't know.
No, I
I'm
ain't
not
gonna
very
fucking
good at
clue.
astrology. I just like to look at it sometimes and see things. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Einstein, for example, he was into astrology. I think so.
Really?
I'm gonna have to Google it at some
He
point.
can't be. Surely he's like a proper man of science.
Like most mathematicians as well. Like
Really?
yeah, everybody's got ties to astrology in a sense. So I feel like it's only good to observe it. Observatory. Something.
Oh, observatory.
Sorry, it's a really bad pun.
No, I'm just not with it most of the time. Don't worry, I've had a long day. The people on here will get it more than I do.
Right.
Maybe.
I don't think I make sense. I'm just a woman. What could I know? No, I'm
Well,
joking.
that's very true, I'm actually one of those people that think, like, it's going to sound very opposite misogynistic now, but
Do you know what it's called?
normal. No, I don't know.
The direct opposite
Feminism?
of misogyny is misandry, which is the objectification or sexual hatred towards men. That's the official
Oh, I see, okay.
definition.
Okay.
So I like to try and bring misogyny back, but then it's never really been a thing, so it's kind of just like starting misogyny. So
Misogyny's
No.
always been a thing.
oh shit, misandry. See,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't even-
yeah.
It's just not a word that we know.
Well,
of.
I think
No.
that's feminism in general. And, well, the toxic feminism, because there's two sides of it. Just
a bit, yeah.
it goes to a point.
No, I'm joking. I'm just a person.
Feminists get a bad rep. Feminists do get a bad rep. The good
Everybody gets
ones.
a bad rep.
Well, yeah.
Men get a bad rep. I've been accused
Men
of
deserve it, in all honesty.
I've been
We're
accused
terrible.
of hating men and women both, so it's
Oh.
like at least I'm equal towards everybody. It's
Yeah, you
I
hate
don't-
everyone equally.
I've also been accused of sexual harassment by a man and a woman, like not in a proper way, but they were just like you're too.
Yeah, not.
But I'm just a friendly person. I think people get the wrong impression
Yeah.
from me, and
That's what I was going to say. Like with like comedian being on stage, and just girls in general. Like anyone that's friendly or just likes to have a laugh. Like when a girl acts like a guy in the sense that they just have a laugh and chill and chat shit. Then yeah, they're just seen as like someone who wants to fuck everyone. It's like no, some girls just like being stupid too.
Well,
It's not always flirting.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I don't know. I've just always been a bro since I was about 13, and that
a
was,
guy girl.
Well, just a bro, and that was before I found out that my dad was transgendered. Well, Maddie. She's my Maddie. It's a crossover between my mummy and my daddy. And
Hold on, you're confusing me now. What?
well, she's a
So your
she
dad,
was a
your dad
man,
went
but
through the
she-
process to become a.
not properly. She's going through.
Oh,
She's
okay, yeah,
transitioning.
yeah.
This is on trans. But yeah, she's only just came out in the last year or so publicly. Changed name officially, is starting the process now.
Oh, okay.
But we found out back in like 2004 or 5 or something. But I was already like hanging out with more guys and like it's not a thing. But then when I found out about that, I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like,
Yeah, you can imagine it. Yeah, because you know.
She taught me how to put on my tights.
Okay.
She was like, okay, do it like this, and then you won't put.
Well, that'll be he taught you at the time.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, that's not offensive, is
to
it?
be
I don't
fair
think.
though, if she's always identified as that and wanted to be that, but has felt socially repressed, then it would still always be a she. So it's, I need to just
I know what you're
get
saying,
my
yeah.
pronouns right because it's too hard.
Yeah.
I keep getting confused. I go out with a bunch of guys too often. They're very cool, but I haven't banged all of them. We're just friends. We talk about philosophy and all sorts of shit.
Only fuck some of them, you know.
No, I haven't. No.
You said not all of them, so that means some of them.
Well, okay, so
Yeah, see?
there was only one who.
You don't have to go into it if you don't want to.
Came to the table after I was already there. Not literally came to the table. That's disgusting.
Came on.
But he knew them, but only joined the table after I'd met him previously as their time before. So that doesn't count. I haven't actively done anyone at the table, and I resent that. It's.
I just want to know what this table is we're talking about.
It's a good table of people. We
Apparently
talk all
so.
things.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Predominantly bros. We've got a cool group of people of all genders, peoples, everything. But yeah, one of my guy friends pulled me up and said, "Oh, you need to stop calling your Maddie he." And I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, I keep
You need to stop what?
calling my Maddie he because I said he by accident
Oh,
whilst
yeah.
I was talking."
But if you're used to it, I think as long as you're making an effort to respect someone's views, you shouldn't get bitched at. Like, I've not been around it. I hope it doesn't offend you. Like, I don't understand a lot of the transgender stuff.
I'm inoffendable.
Okay, that's good then.
Well, to a certain point.
I'm pretty sure I could offend you if I wanted to. Like
there's
anyone
certain
could.
Triggers,
Yeah.
It's hard.
What was I saying now? Yeah. Like, I've never really seen it myself. I don't really.
Don't call her in it. I'm joking. Sorry.
I've never really seen. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother that. I'm not. Yeah, so I've never seen it myself, like the whole concept of it. But I think there's. I'm fine with it when someone's an adult, but there's too many people that are trying to do it for kids nowadays. Like, have you heard this? Like in America, you have
Yeah,
like.
it's tricky. I
Yeah.
think just let people do what they want to do. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, if people want to do what they want, that's fine. They should be allowed.
Yeah.
To a certain extreme.
Yeah,
not like
yeah,
just go
yeah.
kill anyone in the street. Like, not, you know.
Yeah, I say everyone always says like about be the best you can be and be true to yourself. Doesn't apply if you're a paedophile.
Yeah, exactly right. Totally right. Speaking of paedophile, should we quickly go into Rolf Harris?
Oh God! I don't want to go.
Get your wobble boards ready, mate. No, I'm joking.
I didn't know about him. That was like that one kind of got me.
Yeah. Well, be careful.
Yeah,
How old
okay.
were you? No, I'm joking.
I was of age.
So I have many beefs for a vegan, but one of my main beefs with the whole Rolf Harris thing was that he was on Animal Hospital, and I used to watch that shit. I used to love that shit. I had little toys and everything. My main problem is that kids can talk, but animals can't. Like, I said on stage about this, and I said I hope I don't get done for harassment, which is an awful pun. And I was going to do a topper of it, brings to question the song Time Your Kangaroo Down Sport. Brings whole new connotations. Like, what was he doing to those poor kangaroos? Skippy, what are you trying to say?
Skippy, yeah.
Rolf Harris with a wobble board and a... No.
You know, that one, like, Michael Jackson's the one that really gets people. I love hearing that noise. I love that.
It's bad.
It's too many people trying to defend it still, trying to make out that it's not true. It's fucking true. The guy had alarms in his fucking house so that if someone would be walking to his bedroom, it would tell him. You don't agree, do you?
Did the floor light up?
I don't know, but his room.
Because that would have been a thriller. I've just dropped like 3 Michael Jackson references, which you're not gonna.
Oh no!
Just moonwalking all over them. It's a horrible, horrible thing, and I hate everything about it. But I like his music. At the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I'm not one of these people that think you can't listen to their music just because of it. Them people are dumb. Them people are just over the top.
With this thing, I kind of also had a crush on MJ from seeing him in the Earth music video, where it was all about world peace and with the sexy long hairs, which is kind of my type. I was like, oh shit, MJ, he bad,
He bad.
using it.
He bad.
But yeah.
And as he said, it doesn't matter if you're black and white.
Exactly.
And he proves that.
So
He proves it.
Yeah. I'm sorry I made that noise that you like so much. But the
That
worst
sounds like
thing
a different noise now, that does.
Shit, sorry. The worst thing about that whole thing about me when I was young watching that video is that I would have been at the appropriate age and by now I would have had some money for it. God damn it. Sorry. It's my favourite worst joke. I don't like things like that because they're bad. I'm gonna
Yeah, you do it, yeah.
But if he did it to himself with songs like PYT, I mean, come on, pretty young thing.
Well, he did that.
He did a song called PYT.
That makes perfect sense. I've never heard it.
Thing,
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
There is a very cool Michael Jackson story that I heard whilst in my company. Not my company, like the
While I was there
company
with
I work
myself.
for.
Yeah.
No, but it's a song, Beat It?
Yeah.
Okay, so Eddie Van Halen did the riff for that song,
Yeah.
I think, and he was like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be right, yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, oh, you can just have it for free because I don't think it's really going to do very well. So he gave away the
I've
best
heard this,
riff
yeah.
ever. But when he was recording it in the studio, the bloody studio set on fire. So if you listen very closely during Beat It, like about 3/4 of the way at the end, there's a little knock on the door that you can hear, which is them telling Eddie Van Halen, get the fuck out, the studio's on fire. So that is
That's great.
the coolest fucking story I've ever heard. I don't think you can beat it.
Yeah. Wow. Guns N' Roses, did you know how they came up with the song Sweet Child of Mine?
Were they caught in the November rain?
They were not caught in the November rain.
Do you go on?
No, it was just that riff at the beginning, the one I can't think of now for some reason. You know, the normal riff at the
Oh shit, it's the cops, quick, pack your shit, let's go.
Yeah, that normal riff was like just some kind of like practice riff that he used to do over and over to himself, and he did it.
I can't
The
sing,
fuck was that?
I can't. We're both air guitaring right now. This isn't being videoed. But
I don't know what we're
guitaring
doing.
is trying to happen to figure out the riff of the song.
It's really going to bother me now because I know that song. Hold on.
I can't remember.
Okay, well, anyway, everyone knows that song anyway.
Yeah. I sang that karaoke with a live bar in Thailand once.
Really?
A live band in a bar in Thailand.
You went to Thailand?
Yeah, for a month. It was cool.
Oh, wow. Okay, fuck this conversation. Tell me about that.
Back to the trans. No, I'm joking. But it was quite funny.
Lady
I was
boys,
there.
though,
Yeah, I've done a story about a dude that I met. Like he was just a friend, but he was called Lindsay. He was a passing friend. My name's unisex as well, which is funny because my
name's Carl.
Yeah, I've met you before, Carl. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. It's nice to meet me.
With a K or with a C?
With a K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm fully German.
Watch out, y'all.
Yeah,
Carl with a K.
Sorry, going on. Thailand.
Yeah, you have to Thailand.
You do. You have to go to the land. You have to tie him down.
I did see a ping pong show once.
Really?
Cool, yeah. It was like you kind of have to. Like.
Is it exactly like they say it is? Because everyone.
Well, no, because there were darts and there's a dartboard there, so that's quite funny. But but yeah, she had balloons on the ceiling. There were darts. She popped them. Fucking incredible. I don't understand.
Fuck that! Pushing darts out of you. Does that mean they put?
I've never tried. I can't say from experience.
Well, yeah, but
it was,
still, I can't imagine.
Sharp skills.
Yeah, fucking hell.
It was some range. It was pretty impressive. It was very impressive. I've never seen anything like it.
I don't know.
There were Komodo dragons.
Darts coming out of there sounds a bit fishy to me. Meh.
Meh. It's not bad.
No, I want to do a lot of travelling like that. I've never done much at all.
It's good to travel.
Yeah. I want to go proper back. I want to do.
It's a nice romanticised idea. It is pretty hardcore.
Oh, I imagine it'll be terrible.
Good fun.
Yeah.
And you will be sick.
Oh, of course.
And as a vegan now, fuck, I would have so much fun.
What do you mean? You'd have so much fun. You'd have to.
No, I know. I'd have so much trouble. It was
fantastic
fun.
Oh, I was going to say.
I can barely fucking vegan stuff in this country without going, do I have to question it? I have to read this? What the hell? It's hard. I just need to do everything for myself.
I'm right in thinking vegan stuff is like all that corn stuff and that, right? The QU
I can eat that,
corn.
but I just really like vegetables.
Oh, okay.
I would say a joke about my ex-husband, but he wasn't really a vegetable. It's insensitive.
You're married?
I'm still technically married. I haven't got divorced yet.
Maybe
one day.
I think we might have spoke about that actually in the past.
No,
I'm not
I've said
sure.
it before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost got married. I did the whole like going, getting the wedding ready and all that.
Yeah.
Then realised my partner was crazy.
Well, these things happen.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
you know.
yes.
I mean,
You're into all your films and stuff, aren't you? You said.
bit of a film. Yeah,
Yeah.
voyeur. I watch everything.
Boy.
And TV and
Yeah.
music and yeah.
Have you been watching any of Comic Con? Seen any of the stuff that's been going on in Comic Con?
Not really. No,
No.
I'm not.
It's been over like the last few days, isn't that like Endgame is now officially like the highest grossing film of all time?
I'm not one for figures because money is just shit.
Yeah,
to
money's
make
shit,
that,
but
so-
still, that's quite cool though.
It's all inflated rubbish now. I'm joking. But the whole Marvel thing, I really need to watch. Like, I'm kind of like a bit of a nerd, so I like to watch everything in the right order.
Yeah, so
So as soon as we've got an OLED, my run list is going to be like the whole Star Wars saga from the Phantom Menace onwards. Yeah, it's actually one of my favourites. It was the first one
What,
I
the
saw
Phantom Menace?
at the cinema when I was very young.
I didn't mind Phantom Menace. I think it got a bad rep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was alright that film. Jar Jar's fucking awesome.
Nah.
I love Jar Jar. Misa Boo.
Yeah, he was pretty amazing to be
I
fair.
love him, man. Everyone hates him. I love Jar Jar.
I used to have a little a toy. I've recently found an old C-3PO watch thing, which isn't quite a C-3PO. It's like a
That's the gold one. Yeah, that's the gold guy. Like, yeah.
But it's like silver on the watch, so I think it's a bit. I don't know. Maybe it's like aged. I don't know. It's been a
C-3PO
while since
aged.
I've seen it properly as
Yeah.
well. It's been like 3 years, so I'm gonna force myself to watch it when I've got a good OLED and a good
The
sound
Force.
and stuff. Yes,
The Force will awake you.
yes. Again, that was in the Force Reawakened
Yeah.
within me. Yes. I'm all about balance as well because that's important with hi-fi. Balance. The balance within the Force and the treble and the bass. It's all very important.
There's a lot of like things you can. There's a lot of plot holes in Star Wars. Although the first one, New Hope, like they didn't plan to make all the Star Wars films when they made that one. Hence why he's kissing his sister in that one, and then the next one they find out it's his sister, for
Yeah.
example. Yeah.
Well, I mean, these things happen. It's just, you know, my philosophy on
Not in my world.
well, much.
Well, actually, they do say that if like brothers and sisters, for example, if they meet each other and they don't know, then they have like a lot of chemistry, so they end up banging a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I've read many reports of horrible things as such. But
Well,
anyway,
it could be worse things.
well,
To be fair.
yeah, definitely. It's yeah, fun.
Better to bang your sister than to bang on your dad, for example.
Well, yeah, that would be really fucked up.
Exactly.
Okay, we should get away from this. I mean, incest is a game the whole family can play, but I'm really not into it. Yeah, not ideal.
Did you know they found they got the first footage of, you know, the giant squids?
The giant squids, yes.
Yeah,
I
they-
know them well.
Do
They're
you?
my friends now. I'm joking.
Now they got the footage of like the first live one, like because they never actually managed to get footage of like a live adult giant squid, and I thought it was quite cool. I saw it today.
That is very cool.
That's it.
It's a random squid
I-
story. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, should have said Squidward. No,
Yeah.
That's shit's wonderful.
Oh, we were going to talk about Brexit, weren't we?
Oh, we can talk
Yeah.
about Brexit.
Go on,
Oh,
talk-
I was just going to talk about freeing the entertainment industry, but we can talk
Do
about
that. Go on.
It's about all of the movies and stuff. Like, if it was
Yeah.
easier
Oh, yeah.
for movies and TV series and everything to be made, then people would do it for the love of doing it and things would be creatively better. And if it was accessible to everybody, people would have more to educate themselves with, because I think you can get a lot of education from watching things. 'Cause,
Yeah, I agree.
like,
Definitely.
it's just good. And also people that live far away from their homes. Like when I was in Australia, I couldn't watch my English shows, so I had to be a fucking pirate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
watch my
Yeah.
English
Oh, I
shows,
see. Okay.
Like 10 hours after the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
aired and then uploaded. So
It's like me
I've
watching American stuff. Yeah.
watched catch up of every single episode of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. This is the type of person you're dealing with. It's awful.
I love I'm a Celebrity.
It's amazing.
It's my favourite reality show. I hate Love Island. Love that one.
Well, Love Island is a bit shit, but I generally just watch it for the people interaction, and my friend
Yeah.
likes it, so I watch it.
It's just Big Brother that where they're encouraged to have sex, really.
I like Big Brother as well.
I really like Big Brother, and I
But
got rid of
that's
it
all
now.
about sex. It's the last time I saw it,
Yeah.
there were tits everywhere. I'm like, Jesus, I didn't realise it was Big Born Brother. That's cool.
It's
He's
because
the
most
best
of the
Big Brother I know, yo.
most of the people they're getting at now are like the people from Love Island and that, so they get all like the, lack of a better term, the skanky people.
Well, it's a good path to fame. It's what I think, like, it's a good
I don't
way
know.
to shift the balance of the wealth, because if there's more regular people being able to have more access to funds, then hopefully people will start doing big things. But then when all of these musicians that I really love have always preached about world peace and stuff, made lots of money, and then shit's still not right.
Yeah.
Like, I've been a supporter and watcher of comic relief and everything, and then we've still got poverty and famine everywhere. We've got homelessness everywhere, which is even worse than it's ever been.
Homelessness, that bothers me when I'm walking through town and that you just see everyone. It's a hard thing.
I'm too empathetic to deal with it all, so that's why I need to get into politics. And if I use comedy and politics and just people, not use, but like just work with, we just need to work shit out. We can work it out. The Yesterday movie is banging, by the way. I wasn't expecting to like it. Yesterday.
Oh, the film?
Yeah, the film. It's very good.
Yeah. I do want to watch it. Got Tamwa from EastEnders.
Say what?
Is Tamwa from EastEnders?
Wait, I don't know.
Did you watch EastEnders? Did you used to?
It's been a while, like back in 2000.
It was the really nerdy Asian guy. Really nerdy Asian guy that was in it, and he was left with Danny Dyer's daughter.
Oh no, I'm like pre-Danny.
Oh, you're pre-Danny Dyer?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
It's a shame because like I wanted to watch it to get back into it for Danny Dyer, and then I'm like,
It's not the only good one in it now.
I love him. He's amazing. He's very cool.
But yeah, like
Doghouse is very good if you like Danny Dyer. You've seen that zombie movie?
I have seen that, a long time ago. I'm not a huge fan of Danny Dyer in films and stuff. I think he's a bit overrated. But then in EastEnders, I love him.
Well, when he's Danny Dyer in films, he's very good.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. He's a very good actor. I like his daughter. She's cool.
Yeah, Danny Dyer, so weird that is. His daughter's got the
that's
same name.
Amazing. That's fucking brilliant. Oh, by
It's
the
amazing.
way, I changed my name before my Maddie changed her name officially, but people have stuck to her name quicker than they have to mine, and I'm like, well, that's just disrespectful.
What's your new name?
Oh, say what you say. That's my name.
Oh, okay. What was your name then?
It was Lindsay, which was spelled Lyndsay. Why the fuck did they spell it that way?
Oh, so you were called Lindsay and then you went to being just say?
Yeah, because when you say Lindsay, it's Lindsay,
Lindsay. Yeah,
but it's spelled wrong. So I'm a grammar nerd. It irks me in pronunciation, and so I like say what you see. I like catchphrase. It's my favourite catchphrase.
Well, if you like that, then you'll like mine. Because I changed my name as well. When I had my first son, I took my mum's maiden name because my dad's a bothead.
It happens.
Yeah. My name used to be Bates. So
Master Bates.
Up until I was 16, I used to always get Master Bates. So I used to introduce myself as Master Bates by name, Master Bates by hand.
That's amazing. That's very good. Especially in a boys' school.
That was the bad part about it.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I recently broke two fingernails on my left hand, and I made because my nails have been growing super good since I've been vegan, which is why I'm really enjoying it.
I suppose that's one thing, yeah.
But I said to my mum, oh God, that sucks. Oh yeah, it's because it's my wanking hand. And then I'm like, nah, Mum, I'm only joking. I'm ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous. I was going to say that. You beat me to it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I once had a man rewrite my set and send me this massive, regurgitated, wrong script of what he thinks I should say. I'm like...
Oh, and you didn't even ask him, you mean?
Yeah, I appreciate the intention, but dude, I know.
No, I don't appreciate that intention.
You can't write my mind. I do improv, sir. Can you fuck off? If I want to write, I will write, and I can write. I'm working on a comedy skit show, by the way. So if anyone would like to...
Sketch.
Well, no, because it's also a skit or a sketch. So to battle this awful, raging war between the skit and the sketch, I propose a new comedy sketch show.
Okay.
Sketch.
Sketch.
Sketch. So
sounds like me trying to say Lilo and Stitch.
No, that's cool.
Not cool.
You don't really need to say that though. It's not really relevant anymore.
What?
Old ass movie.
It's a great movie. But carry on. Carry on.
I haven't really seen it to appreciate it properly. I hear Moana's quite similar to that.
Moana's amazing. Thank you. You're welcome.
Wait, did you make it?
You're welcome.
Oh, I see
there
you did that. Yeah, I've only seen it a couple of times. Give me.
Just watch that. Listen to that song over and over. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I'll try my best. Stop Moana and on about it. Sorry.
So you actually planning to do a skit show then?
Yeah, I've got quite a lot of comedy skits that I want to work on. There's quite a lot of things that are too mad for stand-up comedy, and there's a lot of stand-up comedians that venture into stand-up.
Yeah, like Kamikaze Club, they do skits in their shows. Have you seen them?
No.
I can't remember the name now. The one guy's coming on in a couple of weeks.
What, he's getting his period?
That too. And he's going to come and talk to us about it at the same time.
Nice, that should be fun. Yeah. Wait, he's going to come and talk to us? That's big time.
We're going to make chili and mayo. Yeah, it's him and Tom Hodgkinson and Michael Bell, I think it is. They do a lot of you might like them because they do what is it? comedy in history, and they do like a few little sketches about like different things that have happened in history and that. Yeah.
It's similar to Horrible History bunch. Maybe.
Kind of, yeah, just with a bit more
Niche.
not niche, like a bit more
Hipster.
vulgarity.
Yeah, okay.
Vulgarity.
There's
There
a
we
bit
go.
of
That's a word.
Aussie comedy that hasn't really hit the British market, which is called the Bondi Hipsters. They've got a very funny comedy skit show in Australia that's worth watching.
Australia.
I think it's
Crikey, mate.
on YouTube, but shit quality, mate. So
Oh,
if you fucking stream or torrent, I'm not encouraging it. I would like it to be accessible for everybody because we all pay taxes and work hard, and we need to make more stuff and make it really good. Let's work on this. I've got ways we can make things work. I've got so many chapters. I'm going to try and voice my political agenda.
Please
over the
do.
years at some point.
Oh, I mean, now do it.
Well, I've got so much. I need to kind of write stuff and get
Oh,
prepared.
you need
about
to make sure that you're saying the right thing to.
Not necessarily, but
Yeah.
to be fair, this is a casual chat. I'm not
Yeah.
responsible for anything I may be saying in this interview.
She is.
Podcast? It's not an interview.
It's a podcast, just a chat, isn't it? That's why I like podcasts. I don't really have to do anything. Just talk shit.
That's what you
Yeah.
And we will be right back after the messages from our sponsors. There's not too many. There might be nudity. Hey.
Come the bush, come the bush. For anyone who lives anywhere near Cradley Heath or just people who live in Birmingham, you can get there. It's down Dudley kind of way, somewhere in between there. I don't drive, I don't know geography. But it's called the Hollybush Pub, and the reason I'm telling you about it is every Thursday they do a comedy open mic night. It's something that I've done myself quite a few times. A lot of the comedians I know do it regularly. It's a good place to go and watch up and coming acts and a few professionals too. It's also really nice place. The people are sound, and it's a proper nice little room as well. They've got a back room too. They've got an outside beer garden. That's what it's called. Couldn't think. And it's just a really nice place. So, like I said, every Thursday, comedy open mic night. And if you haven't been to the bush before, to the Holly Bush that is, there's only one thing I'll say, and that is, come the bush, come the bush. Why don't you come to the bush? Come the bush, come the bush, but please don't come on it.
So next, guys, it's all about Fat Penguin Improv Comedy Centre. That is not a name you're going to forget. Fat Penguin Improv Comedy Centre. These are some awesome guys. I've spoken to them a few times, done some of the gigs that they do as well. They do quite a few things. Good guys to speak to. It's Birmingham's home for improv, clown and sketch workshop. So if you live in Birmingham, you live anywhere nearby like I do, like everyone should. It's the most beautiful shithole in the world. But if you do, and you're thinking, you know what, I might want to do some improv, I might want to do some sketch workshops, I might want to do some clowns, then come on down to Fat Penguin Improv Centre. Fucking hell. Oh, I gotta keep that. So I think a lot of people would assume that the comedy world is pretty, competitive, pretty political, stuff like that. But you know what? It's not that bad at all. Like, some of the nicest people I've met in the last year or so from doing comedy. And these guys are one of them. Some of the same people that bring you the Fat Improv Comedy Centre that we mentioned earlier. A few of them actually do a rival podcast of mine that will be starting around the same kind of time as this one. So we've had a little chat and we thought, do a little cross promotion, help each other out a little bit. So it is the Sacred Fool Podcast. That's the Sacred Fool Podcast. I have to say it twice because I can't talk properly. So yeah, check it out, guys. These are some awesome guys. Obviously, as of recording this, it hasn't come out yet, same as mine. So we're both looking to come out around the same time, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do. I know the guys, I know it's going to be good, so I'm looking forward to it as much as you. So yeah, once again, all links, any information you need will all be in the description below. But Sacred Fool Podcast, remember that? Remember this? Remember us all. The last thing we have for you is the In Your House stand-up comedy night, which is coming the last Wednesday of the month. I should know. It's July 31st, obviously organised by myself. It will be at the Old Bill and Pub. I'm just going to leave that in. It will be at the Old Bill and Bull Pub in Yardley, just down the road from Swan Island, on the Coventry Road. Once again, all these links etc. will be in the description. Yeah, it's just a nice chilled out night. I'll be emceeing myself, and it'll just be some of the best guys from all around West Midlands. Some of the guys you've seen on this podcast, and hopefully will see in the next couple of weeks as well, will be performing there. Some of them, there'll be some people you won't have seen before, some newcomers, some people that are doing a bit longer, some sexy ass people. Hello, and then we'll have Rio as well. So there's him too. Yeah, but yeah, so. Without further ado, I will stop talking to you about advertisers now. I can stop feeling like a shell of a man, and I will put you straight back to the In Your House comedy podcast. Take it away. I love you. And good night.
You heard there was something I was quite interested in at the beginning of that.
Comedy skit show. Sketch.
Even before that.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, the skit show though, like, what point are you at with that then? Like, have you planned how you're going to do it, or?
Yeah, so I'm the Queen of Darkness. I've announced this on stage once before when I was in Halloween garb. It was
Wait, what? You're the Queen of Darkness?
Yes, nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you too.
So my theory behind that is because I'm from Birmingham. I lived in Australia. I've got this weird Aussie accent that every time I try to drop, it comes back like a boomerang.
Yeah, you just came back again then.
Yeah, it's horrible. Crikey.
Crikey, mate. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove my thumb up its butthole. That should really piss it off. South Park.
Oh, I haven't seen it, mate.
Okay, no, I'm glad I said it was South Park.
Well, it's good to cite the
Yeah,
sources.
yeah.
But,
Carry on.
I'm sorry. I will delve into South Park one day. So yeah, it's been a while. I did see bits, but I haven't seen all the bits.
It was like proper old. This was like back when Steve Irwin was still alive, so
Aw,
yeah.
So shocking that he got done by a friggin' stingray.
Even the stingray gets him.
Oh, so there was this little video on YouTube of this kid who's quite like a modern day Steve Irwin, but he's at this river and he's like, "Oh mate, there's these stingrays and they're giving birth. Oh look, it's so amazing!" And he's like helping it like give birth to these baby stingrays, and I'm like, crikey, is he gonna have an incident with a croc when he's older? I really hope that doesn't happen. This is what I mean, Queen of Darkness. But that comes back
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
It's foreshadowing of something.
Foreshadowing.
Horrible. If that happens, imagine how bad I'll feel now. Do you know?
I wouldn't feel bad.
I would.
It's his
I'm
own
an
mistake.
empath.
I'm
No, but if
empathetic,
he's
but
a stingray specialist and then gets eaten by a croc, it's not really
shouldn't have been messing with some crocs.
just like that.
It's
No,
awful.
it's too soon. It's awful.
What?
It's all awful. I grieve for too many celebrities. Like, it's a shame. Freddie Mercury's still really.
That was
fresh.
quite a while ago, though.
It's fresh.
Mm.
It's not nice. But Diana, that still hurts. 'Cause
Oh,
she
Diana.
was,
I still think that was like fully like a.
I don't want to go into it.
Why?
Because I love Queen. No, I'm joking. Monarchy, Queen joke, crossover frequencies high. No, sorry. But back to the Queen of Darkness shit. So
Yeah.
my theory was Ozzy Osbourne's from Birmingham. I've got an Aussie accent. Why be the Prince of Darkness when I could be the Queen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking Sorry, I just wanted to say about Ozzy Osbourne. I had a real bad like when I saw him at Download a few years ago when he was headlining.
Oh.
I was right at the front and everything,
Oh.
but for the he was on like the Saturday and I was there from like the Wednesday, and I'm not a big drug person, but while I was there I was, and I was having a load of like MD for every single day.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was bombing it because I don't like the whole snorting thing, thinking, oh, that'd be better, it would be less of a thing, not realising that after like 3 days of it, it will make you trip out. And I tripped out fully when it was when we was watching Ozzy. I fully tripped out, I blanked out for like a couple of, basically, apparently I started tripping out generally during when he was singing Paranoid because it was Black Sabbath, really. And then I snapped out of it at the end of it, and it just came up on the because the name of the tour was The End, I think, The End Tour, and I snapped out of it and saw that, and I genuinely believed that me being wasted and doing whatever I was doing ended the gig.
Oh.
I genuinely believed this, like literally up until the next day, and I was just like coming out of my tent like, I'm sorry, I didn't do it.
Very paranoid.
I was so paranoid at that time, yeah.
I can imagine.
You can imagine I haven't touched it since then.
Oh. Did you? I don't blame you.
No.
I'm very softcore. I'm only green.
Yeah, that's the best way to be.
Sweet leaf, Aussie. Did you write a diary of a madman afterwards?
Huh?
Diary of a Madman, did you write one afterwards?
I was living it.
It happens. Yeah. Good fun. Apparently there's an exhibition of Black Sabbath in Birmingham at the museum at the moment. I'm not advertising, I'm not paid for advertising it, but it sounds cool, man. I need to go.
I want to go to the general the museum up in Birmingham. I've never been, and I found out that it's free. I'm
It's
like,
free. It's amazing. Go
yeah,
there.
I love
used
all
to
that
go
kind
all
of
the
stuff.
time.
So yeah, I don't know why I haven't, but yeah, I'm planning to now.
Get there. It's good.
Mm.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been there, but it's cool.
What was the last film you went to see?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And the day after I went to see yesterday, I was like, I went
That's
to
so
see
confusing.
yesterday.
You went to see yesterday, but the day after yesterday, you went to see.
Yesterday, the day before yesterday.
My brain hurts.
Yes. It's a hard day's night. Don't worry.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
Oh,
interesting
God.
concept. Danny Boyle's movies are phenomenal. He's very cool.
What has he done again? I know I've seen quite a few of them. Was he the one who did there was a Disney one he did, weren't there, recently? Swear.
Maybe. I might have to sign
Yeah,
it
feel
if
free.
you don't. I feel like it's cheating.
I think like I don't know. I feel like Aladdin might have been from him, but the name doesn't sound right.
You know, apparently filming... Oh, I dropped my bottle. I lost my bottle. Filming
Lost
of
it.
yesterday delayed the production of Bond 2025, which I also have beefs with.
125.
Well, I don't care.
2025.
I just don't care. I haven't bonded with it at all. I lost Bond with Daniel Craig, unfortunately.
I like Daniel Craig,
no,
you know.
we fell out. I bet you do. You're weak.
I'm a blonde kraut as well,
I wasn't going to say anything. No, I'm joking.
but still. But Pierce Brosnan was my favourite Bond by far, though.
As if I even had to Google it. He did 28 days and 28 weeks later.
Oh, far, yeah, of
I
course.
really hope he does 24 months later, because it's like a friggin' phone contract. That's hilarious. No.
Dish.
It would be a good
There is a
sell.
new one coming out, though.
A good sell.
No,
Sorry. I used to work on mobile phones, so I've got lots
don't
of
apologise.
bad Apple jokes. Bad Apple jokes. Yeah.
God help us all. You should have heard the one from yesterday when I had Rio down. It's exactly the same with all them kind of jokes.
That's the way to be.
Yeah.
I
It's
get
like,
complaints. I'm sorry. My jokes are very bad there.
no, don't complain. The terrible jokes are the ones that are the best.
But I want to complain. No.
Okay, well, you are female, I suppose.
Aw.
Oh.
I will bitch smack you for assuming my gender.
Yeah, because that's
Bitch.
going to help. Bitch smacking, that's going to really go against it.
Well, we'll up the equality scheme. When a man gets bitch slapped, a feminist somewhere gets happier. No, I'm joking. I don't understand how it works.
Every time a man gets slapped, a feminist grows a new hair. Don't know what that was.
I'm not going to comment. No, I'm joking. With a budding mustache, I'm not going to judge. I do not. No.
You're lucky, I still can't grow facial hair.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
I'm looking forward to going bald because I've noticed that every bald man has a big bushy beard. So I want to go bald just so the hair follicles will go down my face and I can finally be a man.
Next place is the ass, though.
Yeah, sadly it's already there.
It's all down.
It's all downhill from there, literally.
It's good fun.
That's the thing, I've got 2 boys now and like my 2 kids, like my oldest is like 8 and I can just see him getting to that age now where he's starting to be more of a boy. You know, it's weird. They do it a lot earlier than you think.
Yeah, it's tough.
You ain't got kids, have you?
No,
No,
I
you're
used to
lucky.
have cats. I had to leave. I don't know. Like, if I had kids a good 6 to 8 years ago, I would have had a washer upper or something by now. But it doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna have a dishwasher by now.
Yeah, well,
That's the best thing about kids, is slavery that's allowed.
I mean, to be fair, it's good to encourage productivity because, like, as soon as I'm more settled, I need to start growing lots of vegetables and being
You plan
more
to do
active.
self-sufficient and that.
Yeah, like
yeah.
The Good Life was very inspiring to me when I was
Yeah.
growing up. That I love that TV show. Richard Burton's amazing. Also, in a very good zombie movie called Cockneys vs Zombies, which you should.
I think I've seen
definitely-
that.
I loved
I
it.
think I've seen that.
Brilliant.
There's so many weird zombie films, like what was the one I saw before? Wrestlers versus Zombies.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I'm a big wrestling fan.
You have to tag me in at jokes, lol. Sorry.
I got that one.
Glorious. That's the
I
one.
understood that reference.
Oh, that's good. It's hard for men to get my jokes. They're pretty deep sometimes.
No,
No, I'm joking. Can't generalise. Some are, well,
You can generalise.
there's been a couple that have over-joked me. My friends give me shit about not being heard as well. And I'm
What do
always
you
like,
mean?
they can't hear me. I'm like, I need a microphone.
Oh.
That's why I'm a comedian. I just need a microphone to survive.
Well, I always used to. I remember, like, I always used to do music. I gigged around doing music and stuff, and my band never let me have the microphone because I knew the kind of stuff I'd come out with. So now I have a live microphone on stage. I fucking love it.
Ooh, I had an idea about karaoke recently. Maybe
Oh, cool.
if people like karaoke, we should go hit up karaoke places with our best comedian peoples and fuck with the lyrics of any song. Like, just get up with a... Just try and be as PC as possible to not offend the masses and get
that's
kicked
boring
out.
then.
Well, a bit, but, know your boundaries with the security peoples.
No, do it at the Bill and Bull and White place. They don't give a shit there.
Well, that's fair
They
enough.
do karaoke too. You can just say what the fuck you want.
Paradioke?
Paradioke. Oh, I see, yeah.
It took a lot to...
Paradoke.
Paradoke's okay.
Do you
No,
know-
that's kind of like a paradox. It's I like it. Yeah.
Do you know what karaoke stands for? What it means?
Um,
I think it's Japanese. I'm not sure. I think it's
I'm
Japanese.
Not sure. Yeah, it is Japanese.
Yeah. It means, was it empty orchestra?
Oh yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hauntingly beautiful.
Back in the.
It's
lost
somewhere in the back of your
memories
mind.
Yeah.
Oh, my head is getting too sweaty.
I feel like they need to invent something that gives people more memory. Like just automatic updates would be really
Like
useful
computer
in this day and age.
storage?
Yeah.
Maybe books?
One day.
Anything
we'll
like
get
that?
That In Time movie with Justin Timberlake, it's kind of half the way there. No,
That's actually a good film, though.
yeah, it's pretty decent.
That was the one that made me realise that he was a decent actor. Like, you ever seen Dunkirk?
No.
Dunkirk proved to me that Harry Styles is a really good actor.
Ah,
Yeah, he's in that, and it's like,
I thought he was only going to go in one direction.
he didn't go in any direction. Yeah, I hate him and everything else. Although he did get with that Caroline Flack and have a weird thing for her, the girl from Love Island.
No.
Yeah, I don't know
People
what
probably
it
give him some flack about it now.
is. I'd give her anything.
Flack is also some fully lossless audio something. I can't remember the thing. It's been a long day. It's an audio format.
So we should point out that this is being recorded at like, what, 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, somewhere in that region.
Yeah, I've been working all week. This is my Friday evening, and I had
Hey,
one pint.
It's Monday.
To be sure. Yeah,
To be sure,
it's
to be
my
sure.
Friday.
Oh, God.
I work all week, man.
Why do you repeat yourself? To be sure, to be sure.
Well, I get accused of being Irish quite a lot. I'm not Irish,
I do as well.
but I've got a weird accent that goes
Same.
wherever it wants to go.
Yeah, I get asked if I'm like Scottish or Irish and that, and I'm just brummy.
Yeah.
I just can't talk properly.
I get asked if I'm New Zealander or South African or it's South African cool.
South Africa, to be honest, you have a South African look about you.
I've got a mini look to me. I look like a vegan. I look like
Oh, vegans just mean you look malnourished.
I haven't shaved my armpits. I look European.
God.
And also
Oh
we're
God, you're a
still in-
full-on hippie vegan girl, aren't you?
We're still not left Brexit. European. I identify as European because I'm from Germany. Well, I'm not from Germany, but my granddad was.
I think that's the kind of the weird thing, because I've always thought with like the whole us being in Europe and that why are we like the only ones that don't have the euro?
Man, this
I don't
was
get that.
one of my favourite things to say about the whole Brexit situation. Like, if we do leave, and then if we want to go back, the EU should be like, yeah, you can come back, but you have to have the euro.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'd take that. That's tender. That's no jokes.
I got that.
Hey,
See, I'm clocking on
over.
more now. I'm getting there.
Couldn't make head nor tails of it, no.
You know,
Go and see that coming. No.
oh God.
Again, you don't have to call me that, but it's
But
saying
it's
that.
true. It's true, though.
Oh, please, no jokes.
That
Oh
took me on
God,
me.
no! I'm having a Beatles moment. No, I'm joking. Wait, who's the Beatles? No, I'm joking. Ha! See you yesterday.
My head hurts.
I have that effect on people quite a lot.
It's better than being bored.
Well, this
Being
is
boring, sorry.
true. A board floor would be a floor board.
Brexit.
Say it again.
Brexit.
Oh, Brexit.
Brexit.
Wait.
No, I was going to say something. I fucking forget what I was going to say completely again now about Brexit.
Oh.
Ugh.
Nobody knows what's going on. That's the main beef.
Oh yeah, we were saying this before. I mean, like in my opinion, we really need to re-vote on it, just for the simple fact that it's what we voted on was a fully romanticised version of it.
I feel like a revote is fine as long as everybody knows exactly what everything is being voted
That's
for.
the issue, yeah.
There's no like transparency about what's going
Yeah,
on.
that was
Like,
the big issue before. Like a big issue. That was the thing before. Like,
to be honest, I think it's a time where we've got lots of technological devices, which I can't say right now, but we need to develop some sort of apps that we could probably work on to make a voting system. And then test it out, trial it out on things like schools or universities first up, make sure it can be secured, not tampered with, not hacked. But I mean, they wouldn't
Oh,
try
in
it.
that sense, yeah.
Or maybe like assign people to fucking try and hack it so you can't hack it. Like we've got the means, we've got the method. If you've got a more, you can see what you're actually voting for on the app by tapping on some shit and actually know what exactly it's going to be, then you've got more transparency, less room for error. But then you also have people that can't figure out computers and phones and all this sort of stuff. But the government needs to make things easier for people in that level as well, because there's so many elderly people that just get left behind and stuck, and just things like their TV breaks, they need to get a new TV. It's the worst thing for these people. They need to, it breaks my heart. Like, it's really horrible.
I agree with you. Like, I've always said, one thing they should do is, if you're going to have a vote for something that matters, like, for example, like you were saying, same kind of thing, but like go in and they have like a little presentation and you're educated about it first, and once you can prove you understand it and you're educated about it, then you get to vote.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not going to take the time to learn what you're voting about, then you shouldn't have a say.
I recently lost respect from a few of my drinking friends recently because I said, look, I've never voted. But that is literally because...
Well, because they said they never, well, you never?
I never have.
Okay.
But that's because I've never known what to do. Like, if I was going to vote, I would vote for maybe Lib Dem or Labour
Lib Dem at the moment for me.
Green. Yeah, I mean, you know. But then it's a tricky one because I don't actually know, like, there's nothing that's come of anything, so why should I believe in any of the
That's
things
the issue,
that are
isn't it?
there?
Yeah.
And Warriors moment, which you haven't, like, you,
Explain that, because
it's just a way to get people together that's a different system, that they're not have determinations or something like
preconceptions.
Yeah, that's the one.
There are no words.
Yeah, nice work, thank you. But I feel like trust is very hard. So if it's just something new that doesn't have a bad reputation that everybody can get together and work on, then what's the worst that could happen? Dr. Pepper's my favourite drink.
Yeah, same. To be honest, same.
Good times.
But no, I mean, I agree with that. Like, just in the sense that I think, to be fair, it kind of applies to most things, doesn't it? Though.
I'm so upset about everything. The fact that we even have armies that we're selling guns to, manufacturing guns for, and all of this sort of shit, which is just made to kill people. Like
America created Al Qaeda, for example.
I don't want to name names or do shit. I don't know anything about anything. This is why I don't vote. I don't know anything. I can't trust anything.
I know more about.
Start a fresh, clean slate of freedom for all. Damn, like I am proper vegan hippie bullshit. No, you can cough away.
I wasn't apologising to you, I was apologising to the podcast. But apologies to you too.
Well, that's okay.
But
I think I should probably apologise for the podcasters people that are listening to the podcast.
No, fuck them. Not literally.
I've got to keep my numbers down, dude. Jeez.
Oh, okay. I think that's, you know what? I know you were joking there, but one thing I've always said about the difference between guys and girls, guys get really arsey. Like, you know, if a girl sleeps around, they get called a slag, don't they? If a guy sleeps around, apparently it's fine. I think that the reason for that is guys get arsey about it because they wish it was as easy for them as it is for a girl. Because guys are terrible.
It's easy, but it's really not. Like,
you could just walk outside and say, someone have sex with me, and they would.
But it's not about that. It's about finding someone that you've actually got. Like, it's not. Like,
that's a relationship.
That's
so different.
But no, because like it's the same but different. Like I'm a very monogamous person, and I had a bad husband. So he wasn't a bad husband. He was just a bit boring, and we didn't do anything. I did nothing for 8 years. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that and have kids and then find out this is not right.
That's different though, ain't it? Though that's more of like relationship wise. I just mean like.
I think it's one and the same, really, because you can't have a relationship without sex, and you can't have sex without a relationship, because you can't just look at someone and go.
But that's what I'm saying. A girl can.
No, you can't. No, it's not about that though, because you're still gonna. That person's gonna.
A guy can as well. It's just harder.
It shouldn't be. It's not.
Shouldn't be.
I mean, it's.
Not all guys are beautiful like me.
I've heard.
Other people have issues. Come on, sorry. What are you saying?
Life is just shit sometimes.
I do think that though. I think the only reason guys get arsey about it and judgmental towards girls is because they wish it was as easy for them as it is for girls. Obviously, it's not easy for a girl to find someone, but
I think it's pretty maybe ignorant thinking of trying to break down any gender generalization, because it goes individually every single sign.
Yeah, obviously, I'm on about in general. Not there's always exceptions to rules.
I can't generalize ever, unless it's about general good things that need to be done to fix the bullshit bollocks that's happened before. Like, I've got a friend who always talks about, I think women do this and I think women do that, and
women do this and women do that. I'm just like, mate, you can't, like, you're offending me every single fucking time you open your mouth, pretty much, because I've never done any of the shit that you're fucking, and I know you say it's not me, but choose a different fucking word, people. Like, I'm so pissed off with the whole gender split. Like, I've got a wiggly chromosome. My dick is bigger than most men. Not most men's dicks, but it's got a proverbial dick that's about 8 feet tall and just walks through the door with me. No, I'm joking. It's just hard. It's a very hard dick. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
No, it's like, I understand what you mean, but I mean, guys have to have it as well. Like, generalisation is kind of there because it's true.
No, it's not there. It's not there.
It's
not there.
Like, obviously, I mean, when I say generalisation is true, I mean in the sense that, like, stereotypical stuff, the reason it's there, or like cliche phrases, the reason they're there is because there is some truth to them. Doesn't mean it's the same for everyone. There's always exceptions, and some people are different, some people are wildly different.
Yeah.
But generally...
There's no general for me. I don't believe in generals, which is why we need to
never go to the army then.
For good.
What?
Re-establish the army for good, like make them go and sort out places that need help instead of killing people. Not that they kill people all the time, they try and help places. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say anything that might get me put onto some sort of list of people that shouldn't talk about things. It's already hard. I'm paranoid, man. Like, the whole everything is all stupid. I believe in people and energy, positive attitude, good vibes, not generalising. Maybe one day in a perfect system we get rid of borders so that people can live where they want to live, but there's a system
that
of
would
people
not work.
being places and making sure that they're contributing to the society in which they want to live, and then they can live there. But if they just want to go to a place and just do nothing, then why they should pay to be there, obviously.
Yeah.
But I was an illegal immigrant in Australia for a year, so I can talk from experience from that. Like, and that's in the Commonwealth as well. I had it quite easy compared to a lot of illegal immigrants, and I had to pay my way to get out of it. It's a horrible situation for anyone to be in. And the fact that everybody is so global now. Like, I'm doing massive.
Like, the world is small.
The world is very small.
The world is tiny,
Absolutely minuscule. I met someone in Australia who lived with someone in a house in Solihull.
Oh, wow. Just
so,
out of nowhere?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
She was actually doing training for my company that I was working for at the time. So that was insane.
As far as, like illegal immigrants and stuff go, I mean... It's a hard one to talk about, but...
I'm born of war, basically, because my granddad was prisoner of war, and my other grandparents were in the war.
Which war?
Second World War.
Well, so they were... your grandparents were, prisoners of war,
No, just the one. My granddad was. And he was German. He was captured and put on my nan's farm, met my nan, and then they had my dad, Maddie, and my other grandparents in the RAF and the WAF, the Women's Air Force, which sounds funny.
Does sound pretty funny.
Women in the Air Force? No, I'm joking.
No, not that.
I know, I'm joking about it.
I think some people don't joke. Carry on, sorry.
I know. Some people, you can't general now. I'm joking.
Fair point.
Don't like generals. But so all of them were in the army fighting different sides of the war, so I come from the war. Like, if that hadn't have happened, there's pretty much no chance my granddad would have made his way to England, done the same thing. I wouldn't exist, which really fucks with me. Also,
good that can come out of crap stuff.
This is why I'm on a mission to sort of fix it, because it's not my fault, but I want to make sure it's not going to fucking happen again to anyone, because it's not right.
What? Fix what?
War.
Oh, war.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Well,
It's a very difficult one. I just want people to be happy.
You know what? I've had an opinion on this. The real war it's just a war on religion. Most wars are from religion.
I feel like we need to find ways to just come together and compromise in ways that we're all happy. It's going to take a long
I don't think it will ever happen.
I have faith.
You know what? The only thing that will ever make that?
I have faith. With good people wanting to be good, I think we can get them all together. I believe in it.
But there's too many. I mean, there's 8 billion people now. I'd love that to happen, but I just can't see that ever happening. Everyone on the same wavelength.
The way that the whole world...
Unless religion is abolished completely.
It's not... You can't get rid of people's belief. Belief is important to have because it gives you something to go for. I don't believe in any particular religion, but I've got my own mantra.
Yeah.
But I can't judge anyone who is religious because that's what's good for them.
I've read into a lot... I'm on about organised religions, I love spirit, the whole idea of being spiritual, having your own mindset and having your own independent thoughts is great. but organised religions, when you read into them, they're just filled with such bullshit. It's unreal.
Well, it's everything, isn't it? Everything's
Exactly.
all bullshit. There's so much bullshit in the world.
Exactly.
We just need to recycle and make good shit.
That's what I'm saying. That I think, like, because so many of the wars came from religion, like the majority of them. Even you could argue World War II in that. Like, I know it's not an organised religion, but the concept of like Hitler had an idea of what the perfect person should be. You know, it's not religion, obviously, but it's more of like,
I feel
in
like
his eyes, he wanted it to be.
I wasn't there. I don't know. I can't
No.
judge what happened. I really kind of resent the whole thing as well, because when I was in school, they taught you heavily in history classes just about fucking war. Like, I'd like to know more about history.
I agree with that, yeah.
Like, it shouldn't just be a war. What is it good for? Nothing. So why are we learning about it? Like, the strategy
Yeah.
of war? Is that really interesting?
No, I agree, because I hated history in school, and then after I left school, I loved it, like reading about like ancient Egypt and stuff like that, like the Mayans, and you look at like nowadays they're discovering the stuff in the rainforests and that all these civilizations I didn't know about that they've discovered now.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
It is. The world's an amazing place.
It really is. The world is a proper amazing place.
Believe it can only get better.
I don't know about that.
I think it's going to happen. Everybody's getting more global because we're all coming from, like, humans as a natural species keep migrating around everywhere. Like, putting it into animal terms, because humans at the end of the day are animals.
Well, they are, yeah.
Which is also, I think, it's humans' responsibility to make more care for animals
I agree.
everywhere as well.
Yeah.
So that's like
I completely agree with that.
agenda.
Yeah. Animals are better than people.
People are animals.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Redundant statement.
yeah.
No, sorry.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yep.
But sadly, we've got to the point where we're smart enough now to be terrible. If that makes sense.
No, I think we're getting to a change where we're smart enough to be better from the mistakes that we've made in
We
the
are,
past.
yeah, we are getting there. Because in all
Can't
fairness,
generalise.
no, you're right. Like,
A woman's what? Right.
it happens now and then.
No, not really. No.
To be honest, I'm one of the people that I will admit that women are generally right more than me anyway.
No, I can't generalise.
Okay, you can't generalise.
No. It depends on everything.
The majority of the women that I've met in my life are generally right compared to me, and I hate admitting that,
Oh.
but it's true.
As long as you can admit it, that's one step to learning.
Okay, I'm like really close to my mum and that, so you know, I'll admit that. Yeah, okay, you're kind of right most of the time. My kid's mum, she's right most of the time. It's annoying to fucking admit, but it's true.
You'll get there. At least you've got the scope that you can recognise.
I can recognise. Don't worry, what? I get where?
You've got the scope.
Yeah.
Oh, it was kind of like a thing on your gender because it's a general rule.
Oh, I see.
You
Yeah.
have like a lower peripheral. I'm doing things with
True.
my hands again. I can't see. Doing a lower peripheral field of vision in comparison to typical women.
Is that true?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, is that because of
So-
foraging, like back in the days, you evolved that way? I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think women developed mankind. No, I'm joking.
No,
But
there's
they
a lot
did
of stuff
say-
like that though that people get bothered about when you say like women developed an ability to be able to pick out different colours easier because they used to go foraging back in the day and they'd have to pick out berries, and they also can hear like
Baby cries. and
yeah,
fox
like
noises
high pitches and
all
stuff
that as well,
because
yeah.
it's, and then guys can hear like noises, low pitched noises because predators and stuff. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does a bit.
It
if
makes
it's
perfect sense.
general, but everybody's body makeup is completely
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
isn't
of
it?
course, yeah.
There's always some exceptions to the rules, like elbow lickers.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that as well because I'm part of the 1%.
Is it a 1% thing?
It's a 1%
Really?
of the population. I'm not the rich 1%. I'm
Yeah.
the Wenis licking 1%.
The Wenis licking 1%.
I'm happy with
Weenus, just to clarify.
that. Well, I think it's funny to say. It's beautiful.
Fucking hell.
A canal,
What?
gas basin,
Gas basin.
canals. I like canals.
I can hear people.
Oh my god.
They're coming!
Run away.
Run away! There was something, again, that you mentioned not too long ago, and I wanted to jump on it, and I can't remember what it was now.
I haven't really elaborated on the comedy skit show.
Yeah, yeah,
but
go ahead.
That's going to be fun. It's basically just kind of, I don't really want to give away things because I'm paranoid that people would take my ideas and spoil them and I won't be able to be involved.
Just be like, not too specific.
It's kind of going to be like an evil comedy.
Dark.
Yeah,
Blue
but
comedy.
funny, but not like dark. But if like there are people that want dark stuff within it, then maybe that can be worked into it.
Oh, is this
somehow.
something
It's
you're
funny.
planning to bring in like other people to do stuff as well, or is
I
it just?
think it would be smarter with comedy because it's
Yeah.
like it's okay when you smoke weed because you're prone to be slightly schizophrenic, so you've got different voices to work with. I'm totally joking. That's not a thing.
I was gonna say
It was
what?
just- no, it's not a thing.
I'm a big weed advocate, so yeah, don't say that.
No, some people react to it in different ways.
Yeah,
but
yeah. No, that is true.
creatively,
That is
though,
true.
Creatively, it's handy.
It's
No,
great.
I'm joking.
Yeah. No, it's
But-
great. It is.
No, but to be honest, I've got a philosophy on people. Every single person has got like a slight bit of that in a way, because whenever you talk to someone different, you kind of adapt your personality based on the personal situation
Yeah, yeah,
that you're
yeah.
in. So in a
Definitely.
way, yeah, it's just a normal thing, isn't it? It's about how you.
Everyone's got a bit. Oh, a bit of schizophrenia. You mean?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone's got a bit of things. That's why they're like. Everyone's got a bit of OCD. Everyone's got a bit of.
If you're really
paranoia.
OCD, I think it would be CDO because it's alphabetical order.
God.
I've got obsessive compulsive pun disorder. Sorry. Very silly as well. I have a friend in Australia. We Skype, not Skype. That's like totes dead. We Instagram.
Toad's dead, you know.
Toad's
It's
dead.
Toad's dead.
We're like on Snapchat instead, so we like.
Oh my God, you go on
or
Snapchat?
Instagram,
Snapchat
depending
is so last year.
on the connection. I know. I don't
I know.
care. I'm not on it often. You
my
actually.
God.
This is a friend that I said reminds me of you. She's like you, but you're male. But I can't generalize. She might not be really male. She might be not really female. Who knows?
I do have a penis. I class myself as male.
Excellent. Good
Yes.
to know.
Good for me, yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, if only I had wrote my name in the snow. At least now with the 3 level.
You can. You just need a stencil.
I've got a very impressive P dance that I'm going to do on stage more often, but right now there's no video.
But please explain that though.
Imagine mentally Ricky Gervais, but me sort of, not his dance, but his sort of stance wiggling around,
Yeah.
getting my name in there in the snow. Yeah. It would take a lot of skill, and it would look funny. and it's
It
kind
would
of
take
Monty
a lot of liquids.
Python. Well, it's fine. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe something like that could even be in a comedy skit. That would be
No,
cool.
that could definitely.
Yeah, come on.
Then if it didn't work, like when you were trying to do it, just bring a stencil out.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough. We can try stencil.
Yeah, that would be good because it's what's it called when you collaborate? That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was
Like all of my favourite comedy things have generally been collaborations. So like the two Ronnies,
I was going to ask what ones then. Yeah.
Morecambe and Wise, Monty Python's like
You're more classic than
the
me.
best in the world. There's a new
The
one
world.
called, well, they're not really new. It's like 2006.
Yeah.
But Whitest Kids You Know, which sounds really awkward and makes me feel
What was
really.
it called? Sorry.
Whitest Kids You Know.
Whitest kids you know.
I know it makes me feel really awkward. But the
Look in the mirror. That's all I need to do
Yeah,
for that.
that's fine. But their skits are very good. They're American. They're kind of like a new age Monty Python.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, check them out. They're cool. They've got a song called Dinosaur Rap. They're quite talented.
If you like the political stuff and you like your comedy stuff,
Yes.
you know Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yes.
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 He's got a new program that came out like last year or this year. It's very recent. Who is America?
Oh, yeah. I started watching a little bit of that. Kind of
so good.
lost track and forgot about it. I'll come back to it. Thank you for the reminder.
I only started watching like the other night, and I watched like 3 episodes in a row because he managed to get like high-ranking people to shout.
I saw the bit that, you know,
Yeah.
was it the paedophile detector or something? Where it was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe I did see all of it.
That was only the
short?
first episode, I think. There's like
Was it like 3 episodes or was it? a whole
there's
series?
like 8 or 10 episodes, something like that. It's a proper series.
The British, it's not a proper series. The Americans
Well.
do proper series with like 22 episodes. I mean,
That was
with
American.
6 and 12 episodes. With BBC needs to step up their game.
It's the
No,
fucking
I'm
Game of
joking.
Thrones, isn't it? So it's like they decided to wrap up everything in the last series. It's like we've only got 6 episodes. Like, oh, we could give more. No, we've only got 6 episodes. They made the choice, but
I know, it's terrible.
oh, it was
So-
terrible.
Well, I used
Really?
to be a bit of a Harry Potter fan.
I was literally watching Deathly Hallows Part 2 again last night.
I read the books
Really?
when I was growing up, like up to about 4, and then I saw the movie, and I missed out heaps.
Oh,
of
you
shit.
read up to number 4, sorry.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, come on, sorry. Yeah.
And then I saw the first Harry Potter movie, and I was like, "Oh, they missed out heaps of shit." It's like it's quite shit. Like I kind of had a crush on Sirius Black in the book,
Oh, okay.
and then
That's the one that
They
turned
ruined
into the
him.
wolf, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah, yes, he's yeah.
seriously,
So Claire.
yeah. But yeah, they ruined him for me, and then it just wasn't. I don't know. I just also J.K. Rowling's term of Muggles, I think.
Oh,
It's a bit-
Muggles.
Oh,
Muggles, so it's
Muggle-
Muggles, ain't it? Yeah.
So, like, it's a word which is quite offensive, and it begins with the letter M.
What? Was that offensive? I'm missing something really obvious, aren't I?
I mean, a word that you generally don't say that doesn't begin with an M, but maybe the next letter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
also, there's kind of like that
Very
hate.
wildly different.
I know, but it's still hate between.
I know what you're
different
saying. Yeah, I know you.
I'm not into racism, so it's kind
To
of
be-
like.
to be-
it's not that.
It makes a good point. Actually, I never really thought of it like that. But yeah,
And now she's J.K.
Yeah.
Rowling in it too, and like we've still not got world peace. So can she not work some fucking magic on the economy? Nah, it's not her fault. But you know,
didn't they
just
bring out a new one as well? A new Harry Potter book recently.
I don't know. I don't
I swear
care.
they.
Not fast.
I thought it was a stage one, like it was a script when it came out. It was like Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Cursed Child. Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, probably something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you're much of a reader in general then?
I used to be, but then I didn't really carry on too much. And then recently, I just read 3 books that the CEO of the company that I work for wrote, and they're amazing. They're really inspirational. He's actually one of the most incredible business owners I've ever
Is this
met.
from where
We
you
shall
work?
speak its name.
I'm guessing we can't, can we?
I don't know. I think it's all good things, but
It's free
I'm saying
advertising.
everything on my own personal level. It doesn't affect my work. I'm a very
Yeah.
professional worker, but I work for Richer Sounds, and they're
There you go.
amazing. So if you haven't heard of them, check them out. They're fantastic.
That amazing. Actually, to be fair, I bought something from there a while ago, and then something broke, but they sorted it out for me, like fully, so it was
That's
cool.
what we do.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
look after our customers. We've got a no BS policy in our contract as well, kind of. It's
BS.
no bullshit. We just like to look after
no.
people.
Yeah.
Literally, like so focused on keeping customers and colleagues happy. Like it's just a very nice place to work for or buy from.
See, I used to work like in financial difficulties and stuff like that, helping people that were going through stuff. And it was the concept of what we did was great, like, you know, helping people that generally needed it, but the companies just didn't give a crap.
Yeah, that's exactly
the problem.
Like, my nan was 96 when she passed away, and she had carers for quite some time, but the level of care
Okay, yeah.
is just awful. Like my mum was also a carer as well. She was alright, but it's not the right amount of care that people need. So there needs to be a whole new system of looking after people properly. Because it's just not right at the moment. We had one person come over and make a sandwich for my nan with bacon that wasn't cooked.
God, okay.
So
It just sounds like people that just don't care.
if you're a carer, how do you not know how to
Yeah.
cook bacon? Pretty
Well,
sure
just-
you should have a basic idea. Like they hardly any of them knew what to do. Like there's some really good ones,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, of
but-
course. It's going to be, but it's the exceptions again, like I said, like it's generalisation again. But it's true. Because you see that kind of thing, like I saw I remember one that was on the news about some woman getting like squirted in the face with deodorant for no reason. They just kept doing it. The carers, they had like a nanny cam in the side, you know.
It's awful.
The world is fucked up.
It is, but we're gonna fix it. It's gonna take a long time.
We're gonna
and
do
I'll-
it.
I'll probably be dead, but I don't care. I mean, we're not starting a revolution. It's carrying on from people that have sung about it and inspired all of us that were on the same fucking page. But we all feel like I don't know what to do because there's nothing to do. It's gonna happen. There is another political party which has a similar name to me. I've called my party the Alternative Party, just to be on the alternative. You know. But then there is another party called the Alternative Party. I'm like,
Oh, I've never heard of
I
that.
think so. Alternative Party. I can't remember what it's called.
I know there's
But name
Change is a new one, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Change was another new one where everyone left and they started some new one, and it just pretty much seems the same, like always.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, I'd be happy to collaborate with the Lib Dems if they can tell me exactly what we're doing and we can work together and we're on the same page. That would be great. But I don't really think there's no access.
Oh, you know what? With the Lib Dem stuff, because I agree with what they're doing. They want to stop Brexit or at least do another vote, and I'm fine with
I had
that.
a read about all of their policies, to be fair, and I was like,
I don't know what other stuff they do. That's the thing, though. So I don't want to.
you don't know how
Big
far
'em up
it
too
goes,
much.
'cause, like, it's the local stuff that you get here, but then it also goes on to a bigger level
Yeah,
again.
exactly,
And you
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
Who's where doing what? Like, this is.
Yeah.
I can barely trust people that I've known for a very, very long time in my life. Let alone
Yeah.
people that I don't know that
That's
have
the
got
hard
access
thing.
to money and bullshit. Like,
Yeah, and they have a lot of that fucking shit. But I was watching an interview on ITV News, and they talked to them, and straight away they made a point that there's no chance you're going to win, and it's like they're putting that like on the TV. Even like the person they were interviewing obviously defended that, went against it, and explained why they could. But just having that on there is going to make, I don't know, good like 5% at least of the viewers think, oh well, they got no chance. I'm not even going to bother looking at it. So it just shows the bias that's behind like the news and stuff.
yeah,
It was crazy.
It's all a bit.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I heard it, man. It proper like surprised me when I heard that. Like they're biased, but making such a point of it.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to know what to trust or what to believe, which is why I just think it's maybe time. I was even thinking about having this stupid political party idea led by innovation and not one particular person, because I'm not about doing it for myself. It's the greater fucking good that's the main thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's just a
But
tricky...
the only issue with that, though, is one person's greater good is completely different than another person's greater good.
That's why it needs to be like balanced out with different boards and conversations and education.
But it's hard, though, because if one person has, you know, generalisation here, if one person loves A, the other person loves Z, then there's no way you can get them two together, because it's wildly different. It's literally the opposing points of one thing, if you know what I mean.
A bit, but I'm a big believer in compromise and conversations and working things out, and I'm not in any rush. I've been thinking about all of this politics stuff for about 8 years maybe, since I was in Australia and shit was beginning to be a bit hard, and I was like, well, gonna do some research on things. And
Have you looked into like getting into a party? Because I did it myself.
I was doing it in Australia. Not like I was looking into starting mine there.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
Because again, same situation. You can't trust
Oh,
what's
that's
going on.
yeah. I was going to say that's the thing. You don't want to actually join like an existing one, do you? Yeah.
Happy to collaborate if they're on the same page and they're accepting of my mantras and they can work together to do it. Then great. But it's not my mantras as in I'm a dictator or something. But
No. But your opinion is your.
I feel it's the first
Yeah,
draft that I've written up. I need to vocalise things, see where people are at, and just try and get some action going.
Yeah.
Momentum, trying to work on change. I believe it. It's going to happen.
I'm sat here with the future PM
No,
of
not
England.
at all. Boris Johnson's here. Where the fuck? No jokes.
He's beating someone up down the corner. I don't know. Yeah, his girlfriend's down there.
You know, I don't know if it's true, but there was this thing. I watched like lots of talk shows, and they had Boris Johnson on. I think it was with Jonathan Ross or Graham Norton. But they said that
Probably Jonathan Ross.
I think so.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson saw a lady getting mugged whilst he was on his bike, and he like rode on past and tried to like. He basically helped her stop getting mugged.
Oh, he helped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, well, that's the redeeming factor. Like, I like his character. I don't think.
No,
But
yeah.
again, I don't know his plot. I don't know what's going on. Like,
He's an entertaining guy, but so is, you know, like Jimmy Carr you mentioned earlier. Doesn't mean I want him running the country.
oh god.
Oh god. But
Everything on poor boys.
I've noticed we're right.
I think it should be cool. Maybe if you're.
yeah, I've just noticed that you need to get off. You're going to do stuff.
Yes, I'm going to do some heavy stuff. It should be cool.
Some heavy stuff.
Yes.
Cool, but yeah, thank you very much for coming on episode 3.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been gangster.
It's been gangster.
Gangster. I'm going to listen to the other podcasts when I get back. It's going to be cool.
I don't have an outro, so other than that, thank you everyone for listening. Much love.
Woo!
So Say Flohr?
Yeah,
Flohr?
Say Flohr.
Flohr.
So SAYFLOH.
Hey, no longer me, but my guest today was comedian Say.
Woo! You need an outro. We'll get you. Yeah.
I jingle.